สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ฮัลโหลครับโอเคครับ
Hello everybody, welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality and meditation. Everyone who's interested is welcome to join. As always, we will start with our first participant, who is Alicia Chan. Alicia?
Reverend Prajan, my practice still good. I don't have question at the moment. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay, keep it up. Stay happy all the time.
Okay, yeah.
No need to get sad.
Yeah.
You're making yourself sad, not anybody else. Everything around you cannot make you sad. It's you who make yourself sad.
Thank you, Doctor.
Right. So you have to let go of everything.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Prajan.
Everything comes and goes, rise and cease.
Yeah.
Just let them be, and you will never be sad.
Yeah, sure.
You will be sad as soon as you want them to be the way you want it. And when it doesn't go according to what you want, then you become sad.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor. Anicca dukkha anatta.
That's right. Good. Next, Yenso from Penang.
And Ajaan, yeah, good evening. No questions so far. Yeah.
Okay, good to see you. Avile from Malaysia, from KL.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have no question at the moment as well. Thanks.
Okay, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajaan. Yeah. Tonight I'd like to ask about the Dhammatalk Sutra. And this sutra, I have divided them into small parts so that I can ask in subsequent weeks. The one which I have researched on is from Access to Insight by Thanissaro Bhikkhu. So please allow me to read out the first part. There are these two extremes that are not to be indulged in by one who has gone forth, which two, that which is devoted to sensual pleasure with reference to sensual objects, base, vulgar, common, ignoble, unprofitable, and that which is devoted to self-abolition, painful, ignoble, unprofitable. Avoiding both of these extremes, the middle way realized by the Tathagata, producing vision, producing knowledge, leads to come to direct knowledge, to self-awakening, to unabiding. So, Ajaan, maybe you can you help to explain what is the meaning of producing vision?
Producing vision. It makes you see things clearly as they are.
Yes, producing vision.
See things as anicca, dukkha, anatta. See the Four Noble Truths. This is the vision you want to see. The Four Noble Truths and the three characteristics of existence. The Four Noble Truths is in your mind. The three characteristics is is in the thing outside of your mind. Like your body, your feelings. So you want to see the Four Noble Truths. See that your stress arises from your cravings. And the way to get rid of your craving is to see things clearly as they are, being they are anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay. Is this clear to you?
Then what is meant when Tathagata say realized by the Tathagata producing knowledge?
Can you repeat again, please? Your sound come on and off.
Oh, okay. I repeat again. Producing knowledge, avoiding both of these extremes, the middle way realized by the Tathagata, producing vision, producing knowledge. So this producing knowledge, in the literary sense, it's like we produce knowledge on our own.
Enlightenment is what it means. Become enlightened with the middle path, the middle way of practice. The Noble Eightfold Path lead to enlightenment. The other two doesn't lead you to enlightenment, lead you to delusion. Okay, so avoid, if you want to become enlightened, avoid seeking sensual pleasure, avoid self-mortification, and stick to the Noble Eightfold Path, or dana, sila, and samadhi, and panya. This is the path to enlightenment.
Okay. And then the last one leads to come to direct knowledge, to self-awakening, to unbinding. So what is meant unbinding?
Same thing, letting go, unbinding, not being attached to anything.
Not attached to anything. Okay. Yeah. I think, that's all. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Filing from Malaysia.
Good day to you, Ajaan. I have no question at this point. Maybe later. Thank you.
Okay. Kwan Liman, also from Malaysia.
I don't have any question yet. Thank you.
Okay. Go to Germany with Claudia. You sent a question last week, but you didn't come in. Did you get the answer? Okay.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering my question last week, Ajaan. It was very helpful, and I already had a talk with my friend who shared my thoughts. So we tried to find a solution, and your answer was very, very helpful. So thank you very much.
Yeah, our job is to enlighten them, to help them see that being hateful is bad for them and for everybody else. But if they refuse to listen to us, then we just have to leave them alone. But we should not show any hatred of self, aversion. Yeah. We should use equanimity when we deal with people who we cannot convince or deal with them. in any way. We just remain having equanimity. Do not react to what they do. Just merely know what they do. Unless they do something harmful, then we have to separate them from those people who they might hurt. But if they don't hurt anybody and they just want to be hateful, that's their business.
So is it also proper asking them to leave if they talk hateful to other people in the community or in public? It
depends on whether they talk harm or hurt the community or not.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can kindly talk or ask them that this is not a place where we would like to nurture hateful things. Please go someplace else if you want to spread your hateful messages.
Yeah.
Something like that. We're here to spread the love messages, loving kindness.
Yeah.
So maybe you come to the wrong place.
Yeah. Yeah. So your words or your answer has a lot of wisdom. Also, that it is very important that we remain peaceful. I have to confess that it is very difficult to remain peaceful or to keep upeka by being confronted with this hatred. So I thank you so much for your words of wisdom, Thanachon. It was very important for me to hear it.
You have to see that hateful people is just another natural phenomenon, like the snowstorm.
Yeah.
You cannot stop them. You cannot get rid of them. When they come, you just have to brace yourself in a safe place.
Yeah.
But,
so thank you.
Yeah, but not showing any hate ourselves, because then we're not any better than they.
And this is the wisdom I need. This is the wisdom I need. And it's very...
They show hate, we show love. Okay.
Yeah.
Forgiveness. The Buddha said that's part of loving kindness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to forgive others, people's transgression or wrongdoing.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your words. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next, Kenneth, professor from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan.
Anything today?
No questions. I'm just trying to wind down now for the summer break and trying to stay in the present moment instead of planning ahead all the time. So it's quiet.
Use mantra or something to stop your mind from wandering all over the place. Mantra, focus on what you do, on your body activity.
Yeah.
Or recite something, whatever, to prevent your mind from thinking.
Yeah, I tend to use the Buddha mantra constantly.
Yeah, good.
Very helpful.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Right, we'll go to USA, Idaho, Tipawan.
Thank you for your teaching. It's very helpful. And I have no words to thank you enough for all your hard work. Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll go to Travis. Hi, Travis from Toronto. That's fine. Am I right? Or maybe I'm wrong.
Good morning, good evening. Thank you for being here today. I'm just going to listen and soak in some wisdom. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Bless you. Thank you.
Okay. Melinda from Singapore.
No questions for now, Ajaan. Thank you.
Okay, PL and Indira from Toronto.
Good morning,
Good morning,
Ajaan from Toronto.
And we are staying home today. We have a break. Day off.
So, day off. You don't work on
Canada Day came on the 1st of July. So it's a bit of I took another extra day, couple of days.
So that he can listen to you the whole
So
session.
I'm just in and out, popping in and out normally. So today I'll be there full session.
Ajaan, I have a question. Now, when Buddha said Sila, Samadhi, Prajna in that order, I always thought that it is important first to, practice Sila, then Samadhi, then Prajna. But a Buddhist monk who was here, like some years ago, when I asked this question, he said, if you wait to, make all the Sila perfect and Samadhi, you'll never. So he said, most important thing is at any point, just sit and meditate and the rest of it will come. So what do you think about that? Why did Buddha say Sila, Samadhi, Prajna? Should you do that in that order for someone who's starting new?
No, Sila is to prevent you when you do something.
Yes, morality.
Yeah, Sila is to prevent you from doing something wrong, which can cause you mental worry or anxiety, which will be difficult for you to meditate.
Absolutely, yeah.
They can become obstruction to your meditation practice. If you don't break any sila, then your mind will remain calm and not anxious or worried, or feeling bad or sad. Then your meditation will be easier because your mind remains normal. Sila makes your mind abnormal, makes your mind feel abnormal, feel unhappy, feel agitated, restless. So you need Sila. Also, if I'm talking about the five precepts, but if you keep the 8 precepts, then the 8 precepts will also help you restrain your mind from sensual pleasure activities. So this will give you more time to meditate. But if you're just a casual meditator, keeping the 5 precepts is probably enough if you only meditate once or twice a day, for instance. But if you want to meditate all day long, you become a professional meditator for one day, then or how many days you want. Like when you go to a retreat, then they will require you to keep the 8 precepts.
8%.
Can also the lifetime 8 precepts, is that okay?
Can be practiced at home. Like example, I think it adds Pisunavacha, Parusavacha, Sampraplapa, Micha. So it's kind of going along the 8-fold path pretty much. Lifetime 8 precepts. So that can be done anytime. Like you can extend the 5 to 8.
Well, what do you mean by lifetime 8 precepts? You mean you keep it all the time every day?
No. I think it expands into the right speech more. Like other than lying, Pisunavacha, harsh speech, and like all the 4 wrong speech it adds, and also Micha Jiva is like wrong livelihood. So it adds the 4 of the 5 precepts except the Surameria, the last one, alcohol and intoxicants. But it 4 of that, and the 4 of the other with the 3 added right speech plus right livelihood. So total they talk about 8 lifetime 8 precepts. Pretty much it kind of along with the 8-fold path, which mostly covers Noble Eightfold Path.
Well, normally the 5 or the 8 precepts just prohibit you from lying. But if you want to practice more refined right speech, then you have to avoid from saying foul languages.
Yeah.
And speaking useless things. What you call chatter.
idle chatter. I got it.
Idle chatter, and also avoid speaking in a way that will cause disunity among people.
Yeah. Divisive speech. Yeah.
Divisive speech. Yeah. So this is more refined.
Yeah.
But it's not contained in the 8th or the 5th precept.
Yeah. But I think maybe the right livelihood perhaps add to the 5th precept. Maybe it's kind of included in the 8th precept, the 5th precept. Perhaps, I'm not sure. Like
it's in the right speech in the Noble Eightfold Path. It's in the right speech.
Right speech.
But it's not in the precepts. So
okay.
Because for most people who still just starting, it will be very difficult for them to keep these other 3 right speech.
Right speech, yeah. So, but it's okay to expand it, like as a layperson, right? Just to the better.
Yes, the better for the better.
Yeah, more sila.
This will makes you more upright.
I just want to expand on in this question on Sila Samadhi Prajna. Now, Sila Samadhi Prajna is morality, Samadhi is concentration or stillness, and Prajna is wisdom. Now, this is also part of the pretty much division of the Eightfold Path if you look in detail. But Sila is kind of they say, takes out the, say, 5 precepts or lifetime 8 precepts or 8 precepts as a whole, takes out the superficial defilements, like very obvious ones, like because you're not lying. So these are called at the level, like at the surface level, defilements can be done. So you need that to get to the Samadhi. Samadhi part is called the recurrent defilements. In other words, the hindrances, 5 hindrances, when it's suppressed, the Samadhi. And the Prajna is the Anushaya, the underlying defilements. It's under the surface. You can't really see them. Like suddenly you get anger from nowhere. So your defilements are under, so that can be only removed by wisdom, Prajna, like the inside part of it. So Sila Samadhi Prajna goes in that order, interestingly. So I think also there are 3 Pali terms, Vitikkama, Anushaya, and Pariuttana. Vitikkama is the most superficial one. Pariuttana, which has recurrent ones with the 5 hindrances. And the Anushaya is the underlying, the sleeping ones under the carpet. So Sila Samadhi Prajna, I guess, kind of does to remove your defilements that way. Do you agree?
Well, I cannot agree totally what you say.
Yeah, it's okay.
But my understanding of it is that these are the 3 steps that you need to go through. First, you need to practice Sila before you can practice Samadhi.
That's right. Yeah.
And before you can practice Panya, you have to have Samadhi first.
Yes.
So they're like prerequisite to one
the other, just one leads to another. In other words, like
before you can take this course, you have to take that course first. Before you practice Samadhi, you have to practice Sila first.
Sila. But you don't have to do exclusively one, but you can start practicing and it will feed each other, right? The more prajna you have, more Sila you want to move on, more precepts you want to follow, right? Like that.
But you start with Sila, I think. Otherwise, that's why my question from that Buddhist monk was, but like, I'm so happy with your answer because I thought there was a big crowd and a lot of people just felt that you don't need morality, you can just sit and meditate.
I think he's coming from a Burmese tradition, a Vipassana tradition. I guess Sayadaw, because they emphasize on inside part right away. So, and then they call it Vipassana Samadhi, which kind of a bit not described in sutra text. So I guess that's how they come. So they said to sit and meditate first. I think that's his way of practice.
Now I understood. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you.
I think the Buddha said that Sila supports the development of Samadhi. Samadhi supports the development of Panya. Panya supports the development of Vimutti.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cessation of suffering.
Samma vimukti, yes. At the end, yes.
So these are the four of them, they go like this. You have to start with sila before you can get to samadhi. Once you get to samadhi, then you can move on to panya or wisdom. Once you have wisdom, then you can get the cessation of suffering or vimukti.
So in essence, you can bring the whole of Buddhism into Sila Samadhi Prajna. It's just in a nutshell, right? It's all there.
Yeah, this is the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yeah.
In a short form, it's called Sila, but in the long form, it's the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yes.
Because then comes like even Dana, Sila, Bhavana. Because when you start with Dana, you start you're kind of parting with letting go initially with, and then
Sila is more letting go. You like something, you have to go for a drink, you let go of that. Go for a party, you let go of that. So another way of letting go, and the final letting go is I guess Bhavana. at the end of the day, right?
Yes, you have to give up all your wealth and possession before you can ordain. The Buddha have to leave the palace.
Yes.
Before you can keep the precept perfectly, 100%,
yes.
all the time.
Otherwise, we have a lot of rust as lay people.
Yeah.
But we try.
A lot of dust, you say, or rust or whatever.
Okay.
Thank you.
Clear now?
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll go to New Zealand now. Anula and Ramya.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Ajaan. Thanks for your teaching today. I don't have any questions for now. Happy to listen in. Yeah.
And Ramya?
Yeah, happy to listen today, Ajaan.
Thank you. Yeah.
Go to Julia Uden from Sweden.
Hi, Ajaan. Yeah, I have a question. I'm very sad these weeks. It's basically the end of the first long period after my separation from my daughter and her father has been kind of realized. So I was not expecting it because it has been planned for a long time that we would separate, but now that it's actually happening, there's so much sadness. And I know that it's like, in a way, you can see it as it's good for my practice, good for the path that it's happening. Because then I can't like take my happiness from these relationships, but I have to create it myself instead. So with the meditation and so forth. So in that sense, it's good. But I have these other thoughts, like my mind is sometimes panicking and thinking that like I need a new relationship, or also sometimes I have thoughts like hoping that my ex-partner would change his mind. So this is where I am right now, and I would just like to have some supportive words, like how to make something positive with this in terms of my practice.
Well, in terms of your practice, you can see the Four Noble Truths working in yourself right now. You have sadness, which is dukkha. And your dukkha arises from your desire to want things back the old way, like it used to be. But the truth is, it isn't like the old way anymore. That's because everything changes, anicca. And anatta, you cannot control the situation. So if you can see the anicca and the anatta of the situation, then you might be able to stop your desire or craving for the old situation to return. If you stop this desire for the old situation to return, then you get rid of your sadness and you look forward. You forget about what happened is gone. Now you live in a new reality. But your mind, your craving, your desire still want to go back to the old reality, which has already disappeared. So you have to wake up, become enlightened. See?
Yes, but so I mean concretely, so when I get this kind of thought that I would like things to be the way that they used to, then should I kind of counteract it with thinking about
Anatta,
the bad parts, or
just contemplate this is the working of anatta. It's a work of nature.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just apply. I just say anatta.
Anatta.
Yeah.
It's not under your control. It's like the rain or the snow. You cannot stop it if it's gonna rain or snow. Only thing you can do is to brace yourself to accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the other thing is that, so I think so. Just for practical reasons, sometimes my ex-partner has said that okay, now we can spend some time together, like the three of us again, like one day or something, and then I'm not sure, like whether I should say no to that, because then that might kind of feed my desire for things to get back the way they used to. Do you see?
It depends on the reason behind what you do here. If you do out of your desire to enjoy the old situation again, then this can be harmful because it's only temporary, like one day event. You might be happy for one day, and then after that you become sad again. But
and then it's not helpful, you're saying, or
it's not. But if you do it because of your daughter, because you want to make her happy, then this is okay. This is compassion or loving kindness.
Yeah.
You don't do it for yourself. So it depends on the reason behind you're doing. You're doing for yourself or you're doing for someone else you love. Okay. You have to tell yourself that you can live alone. You can either take it or leave it. Leave it. But doing this not for yourself, doing it for your daughter. Because you still have to maintain a certain type of relationship with your daughter and your husband. But you just don't want to go back to the old situation.
No.
But you're doing more like a visitor, friends, being friendly, being kind.
Yes.
So it depends on the reason for doing it.
Yeah, and I guess I have to be able to separate out those two reasons before I should do it. Yeah. Yes.
Because
okay. Thank you.
If you go back, it means you're still attached to this old pleasure and you want to have it. But then when you don't have it again, then you become sad again, or even sadder than when you started.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to go back, then better not to go back. But you have to, you do it not because for your own pleasure, but for the benefit of your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Use this as a lesson to teach you the lesson of anicca and anatta, and don't fall. And don't go and repeat the same mistake again by having a new relationship. Better live alone.
Yes.
And find happiness within yourself.
Yes.
Then you will never have to depend on other people to make you happy. Okay, be strong. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Stop thinking about the past. Stop yearning for the past. It's gone. It's like a dream. You have to wake up. You cannot bring your dream back. Even if it comes back, it can cause you anxiety because you don't know when it will disappear again. So you should learn the lesson from this, the sadness that you have. You should use it to teach yourself a lesson, not to repeat it again. As long as you depend on people or things for your happiness, you will eventually end up being sad again, because people or things are not permanent; they are temporary. One day they will have to be gone from you. So better not to rely on anything, people or things to make you happy. Rely on the practice of meditation, mindfulness. Okay.
Okay.
Next, Gary from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. No questions for me. Just listening. Thank you.
We'll go to Julia from Colorado.
Greetings, Ajaan. Thank you. Is Ajaan in good health?
Oh yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. I don't have any big things, but the answer to Claudia in Germany was helpful to me because even though I choose to live alone, I live in a country where it's designed that the people should speak up and rally and motivate for social change. And there are some conditions put in place by the prior leader that are remaining in our Supreme Court right now, that I think, although they might not have the direct harm to beings, they have a social harmfulness that can lead to death and suffering for many minority groups. I'm considering withdrawing from one group I participate in. And so I see now how this can lead to stress. And so I notice in my practice that the mind gets distracted from that. But I'm an upasika, so I feel like my duty also is to, I don't know, I mean, it's different. It's not like there's one man with a gun shooting someone. It's like there are people using religion to be divisive and support harmful social things. So just a little bit, I'm trying to be aware. The answer to Claudia was very helpful about with the loving kindness, not spreading hatred. And mostly I'm still home, meditating. I think the other thing that I felt some commonality with the couple from Canada. I also really like the Ajivataka Sila, which is like Atta Sila, but it's the ending in the right livelihood, and it's common in some Burmese groups, and also there's a Sri Lankan very famous monk in this country who does give those as the lifetime precepts. The ones with the it's Panatipata Veramani Sikapadam, Samadhyami, and then the Adina Dana, and then the the
Kame Suvichajara
Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami, and then there's Musavada Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami, just like the other regular 5, but unlike the Uposatha it's then there's Pisuna Vacha Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami and Parasawa Cha Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami. And then there's some Papalapa, like Veramani Sikapadam Samadhyami, like Ajaan said. And then it ends with the Ajiva. So it ends in the right, the refrain.
These precepts are more for serious meditator to follow. But for casual meditator who still have to get involved with the public, then it's difficult to keep these precepts.
Yeah, it's true. It's challenging. And then also some people add metta as number 9. And so I was thinking metta sahagatena cetasa sapapana buddhi suparitva viharanam samadhyami. And then but I asked this famous Sri Lankan monk, and he said, well, if you try to add metta that way, he said that's kind of just like the first precept, like not killing, refrain from harm.
I think you should stick to the Buddha's teaching. Don't add or subtract from his teaching. His teaching is complete and perfect. Savakato Bhagavata Dhammo.
Okay. It's well expounded by the Blessed One.
It's well done by the Blessed One already. The Dhamma teaching. No need to add or subtract anything from it.
Okay.
Complete and perfect.
Okay.
What is lacking is our practice, that's all.
Okay.
If following it completely, wholeheartedly.
Okay. Okay. That's
all right. Okay. Don't worry about the social issues. This is the way of the world. It will happen regardless of when or where you are born. You face these social issues because they're the issues of the defilements.
But what if this country becomes fascist?
Huh?
What if this country becomes fascist?
Whatever, you cannot stop it then. You just have to let it be. Everything is the natural phenomenon. So the only thing you can do is for yourself. Extract yourself from this world and rise above it. Leave this world alone. Don't worry about this world because you cannot control the world. But you can control your defilement. You can stop your stress, your suffering. So do what you can and don't do what you cannot do. You get frustrated. Okay, don't try to control things. Don't try to change things. Don't try to make things the way you want it. Change your mind. You can change your mind from being restless to being peaceful and calm, from being engaging to be disengaging.
Engaging to be disengaged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to apply the mind more in every moment.
See, if everybody in the world disengaged, and the world will be peaceful and happy. Our problem is we try to impose our will on other people.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot lately. Like, one cannot tell another person what to do.
That's right.
Because they will resist. But then I don't want to participate in, Papa Kama.
Yes. But just spend your time with your meditation practice and leave the social issues alone.
I'll consider these words.
Yeah. When you meditate, you'll feel calm and happy. when you get involved with social issues, you get irritated, you get agitated,
Yeah.
you get restless.
Yes.
So what do you want? You want peace and happiness, or you want agitation and restlessness?
I want peace and happiness, but not just only for myself.
Why not? Who else can give you peace and happiness if not yourself?
But I want to be able to share.
Yes, if they're willing to accept your charity, but if they don't want to accept, they don't want to listen to you, what are you gonna do?
Right.
Force it upon them.
Right. That would be violent.
Go to the Supreme Court or whatever.
You call them on the
Buddha would never go to the Supreme Court to ask the Supreme Court to apply the Noble Eightfold Path to everybody. Would he? You think would he do that if he's living today? Because that's the best part of living, is the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, very good point. Okay, I will reflect on this wise counsel.
Yeah. You just walk this path, and if anybody wants to follow, help them. You know how to help them along this path. But otherwise, there's nothing else you can do, really. Outside of this path, there's nothing better. So you better stick to this path of morality, charity, meditation.
Okay.
And consider that everything that's happening right now are all natural phenomena. People, things happening right now, they're all the work of nature. It's like the weather, like the season. Things keep changing.
Yeah, I need to.
Everything change, opinion change, people change. And so whatever the law you made today can change tomorrow, because laws are made by people.
And people depend on causes and conditions.
That's right.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Try to practice meditation, stay calm, peaceful, and happy, and then you can laugh at everything. It's just a show. Everything that's going on is in this world is like a show. Don't get involved with the show. Just watch the show. Enjoy yourself. Okay. I'm not sure you can understand this or not.
I rejoice in the Ajaan's practice and aspire to see more clearly how I create the show. And
the show is created by nature. It's a nature. It's all the work of nature. What's going on? You, me, and everything. We are part of the work of nature. But due to our delusion, we think that we are not part of nature. We are me. We are an ego. We are someone we can take control of things, of ourselves, but we cannot really take control of ourselves. Yeah. You cannot control your body. Can you control your body? Can you stop it from getting old, getting sick, or die? Can you stop your mind from
make it stop breathing?
Can you stop your mind from having suffering, having sadness?
A little bit.
A little bit, what do you mean? It means you cannot, right? So everything is work of nature. Like, can you stop the rain? Can you stop the storm?
No, Ajaan.
Okay. and you cannot stop your body from getting old, getting sick, or die.
No, Ajahn.
So why are they different? If the sun and the rain is a work of nature, why not your body and your mind? They all work of nature. Huh? Yeah, delusion. That's right. You separate yourself from your body and your mind from nature, and you think you are not part of nature. And
yes.
you think you can control nature. You think you can control your body. So you invent so many things to keep your body healthy and strong. But nobody can still find a way to stop the body from dying, or getting old, or getting sick. It's like no one can stop the snow or the storm, the flooding. They come and go. These are all work of nature. So it's with everybody else. Our body, our mind are part of the work of nature. It's what the Buddha calls Sabbe Dhamma Anatta. Everything is anatta, no self. If you can see this, then you just watch the show. Just watch the nature show itself. You watch the rain, you watch the storm. What else can you do? You cannot do anything except watching it, right? All right. This is the goal of our practice, is to be able to just watch and let everything be. Then there will be no dukkha. But as soon as you want to engage, then you'll get dukkha. Because sooner or later you will not be able to do what you want to do. All right?
All right, Ajahn.
Something to reflect and think about.
Eva.
Okay. Next, we'll go to Diana from Wales.
Greetings, Ajahn. It's all been very relevant for me. I've been thinking a lot about this, about what we worry about and how we make it more difficult for ourselves. Concentrating on my mindfulness, probably not doing very well, but thank you.
It can help lighten your mental stress. When you have mindfulness, you might have less reaction to things.
I like what you said about don't get involved. As soon as you get involved, you create suffering. Just watch. Thank you.
Okay. Nothing else. All right. We go to Dubai. Apalachita.
Good evening, Ajahn. Yes. I don't have any question, but yes, listening to everybody, this tendency that we have, whether it's an external, I know that's the root cause, but whether it's an external problem or it's a relationship, why this, I mean, I guess as a community, all of us are kind of halfway aware that that's not the real thing. But why do we keep dropping down and get pulled into these dramas? Like,
we haven't found the real thing. Once you have found the real thing, then you can stop going after the fake thing.
Yes, and the real thing is so hard sometimes to realize.
Yeah. Just meditate. That's the real thing. That's what the real thing is. When your mind becomes calm and peaceful, and then you find this is the real happiness. That's all. Happiness is within ourselves. We don't have to go look for happiness elsewhere because they are not real. They are transient. They are temporary. They're like clouds. You catch it and then the next moment it's gone, like smoke.
True. That's true.
You go on a trip or holiday, you enjoy it. When you come back, it's gone. And you're back to the old problem that you used to have. Whatever you try to do to make you happy, it's all temporary. Once you have it, it's gone. So you have to keep getting new one to replace what you have lost. No matter how many you replace, you still replace it the same thing, because what you replace is transient. They are transient. The only thing that is real and lasting is your meditation practice, the happiness and peace you gain from your meditation practice. So this is where you want to go after, not the essential pleasures. Go to peace of mind, contentment, of meditation practice, and letting go with wisdom.
Yes.
Okay, when you meditate, you get a temporary peace. But when you come out of your meditation, your defilement start working, and then you lost that peace. So in order to regain that peace, you have to use wisdom to stop your defilement. By telling that whatever your defilement want, they are all transient and they can cost you dukkha when you lose them. So when you see that everything is transient and can cost you dukkha, then you stop your desire or your defilement from going after them. Then you can live and just, when you have no defilement, no craving, then there will be no stress, no suffering, no anxiety, no restlessness, no agitation. All that is left is peace and contentment. That's the real thing.
So then that's the only thing really, really worth putting in effort for in this life.
That's right. That's what the Buddha did and all his noble disciples did. And that's what they taught us to do.
Right.
Nibbanam, the supreme happiness. Nibbanam paramang sukham. A mind that has got rid of all the defilement is called Nibbana. When there's no defilement, then there's no stress, no anxiety, no restlessness, no agitation, no depression. All you have left is just peace and contentment. All right, try to do it. Get a temporary Nibbana first, enter into jhana. Okay.
Thank you.
Next, Philip from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Thank you for your teaching. I don't have any questions. I mean, step back and watch the world. Yes.
Yeah, just be a watcher, not a participant.
Yes. Thank you very much.
When you participate, it's like playing sports. If you participate, you can become tired. Right? But you just watch and you can just enjoy the show.
Sadhu.
All right. Next, B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Hi, good evening, Ajaan. Yeah, I think it's really good advice that you just mentioned that take a step back and be an observer. You know, it's not tiring for the mind if we get involved.
Yeah, but don't be a involved observer. You have to be a detached observer. Even just observing, if you're still involved, you can still get stressed.
Yes, there's always that temptation to get involved.
Yes.
Get our feelings known.
Choose which side you want to you can't think of the word to go after, to support.
Yes, Prajaan. So just one question. tonight. Was regarding the Pahung. I was reading about it a few days ago regarding the 8 verses of how the Buddha overcame, certain adversities. So I just wanted to, if you could help to elaborate on each one. Like I read the text, and it says the Buddha sometimes used compassion or metta or, some of the Brahma Viharas to overcome his adversities.
Well, the Brahma Vihara are like tools you use to deal with different situations. When you see people hurting and you can help them, and you're using compassion. When you want to maintain good relationship with people, even though they might be bad to you, you use metta. You don't get mad at them. You forgive them for what they do. If you want to win over, you give them a gift when you see them. And if someone has achieved something, then you should show your appreciation. This is mudita, show appreciation of other people's achievement, happiness, or success. And if you run into a situation in which there's nothing you can do for them, then you have to use equanimity. This is how you use the 4 Brahma Vihara. Loving kindness, metta, karuna, mudita, ubekha. So this is applied in different situations. And you have to apply them properly, correctly, not wrongly. When you see somebody hurting and you use equanimity, then this is bad. If you can still help them. But if you cannot help them and you feel sad and you feel angry, then you have to use equanimity because there's nothing you can do for them. Okay.
So apply each one correctly in each situation that we face.
That's right.
So this helps to lessen our greed and delusion, right? The 4 Brahma Viharas.
It helps us to reduce problems with people or things or dukkha. If you don't have loving kindness, you won't have any friends. You will just have enemies all around you. This is not good, right? It's better to have friends than to have enemies. And helping others, but also making friends and making other people appreciate your good deed. And one day, if something should happen to you, they might come to your assistance because you did something for them in the past. So it's all good for your benefit, really, to practice this Brahma Vihara. If someone achieves success and happiness, you show your appreciation. And next time when you have success, they will also show their appreciation. But if you cannot do anything to help or do whatever to make people happier or better, then you just have to use equanimity, ubekha. If you cannot do anything useful or beneficial. But if you want to do it, it costs you sadness or not feeling good because you cannot help or do something for someone. But sometimes there are things that is beyond your control, beyond your ability. Then you just have to use it, equanimity.
Yeah, I admit, Prajaan, it's sometimes difficult to use equanimity when you feel like I feel I can do something, but actually I'm not being truthful to myself. Actually, there's nothing that can be done.
Yes. If you can do it, do it. If you cannot do it, then you just have to. What can you do? Getting angry, getting sad doesn't change anything, make anything better. Actually, it make you feel worse. All right. Anything else? Okay, we'll go to
not so far. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Sao Paulo. We'll go to Alfredo. Alfredo, you look different. You put on a ski cap or something.
Hi, Bante.
Cold.
Very cold.
No heater. No heater in your house.
No, it's a Windows.
Windows.
Yeah. Yes. It's good.
Good, and live naturally.
Yes.
Practice Ubeka. You practice Ubeka.
Yes,
live
practice.
Live with the call.
Yes.
Enjoy the call.
Yes. Normally.
Yeah. Okay. Anything tonight?
No, thanks. Thanks. Tranquility.
Okay. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Okay. Enjoy your coldness.
Thanks.
Cold weather.
Thanks.
We go to Jordan. Jordan from Toronto. Where's your father? Was he Trevor?
Good evening, Tanajan. My father is joining on his own in Toronto, and I'm up north, so we're both here tonight.
I see. You're in different places.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
Trevor
isn't.
is your dad. Yeah, okay. I see him
That's right.
waving now.
I'm happy that he came, and I'm happy to be here. I was wondering, while I'm being back in Canada, I've been practicing for many years, but I feel like I'm really sort of only interested in the Dhamma, in Sila, Samadhi, and Panya in my life, and I feel like I've really changed as a person, and no one in my life really. My dad, I'm very happy that he's interested in the Dhamma, but no one else in my life is interested really, and I'm still around a lot of the same people, and it's hard because I don't have. I'm not lonely, but they don't really see that I've changed, I think, and I'm not really interested in anything that anyone else is interested in. And it's sometimes difficult because I think I'm not much fun to be around.
Yeah. Because you find something better. So
definitely.
So you're not interested in anything else.
I'm not interested in anything else.
Except the practice of Sila, Samadhi, and Panya.
That's it, yeah.
That's the real thing.
I want to ordain.
That's the real thing. It's hard for most people to understand this because people still are being so covered with delusion. For them, happiness means to have wealth, to have status, to have the ability to do or see or hear or whatever you want to do. But they don't see the transient nature of these things. And the suffering that comes up after when they lose the things they love. So if you can see this transient, then you don't have any interest in the worldly matters. You would rather seek the peace and happiness of the Dhamma practice. You'd rather be alone, really, and because being alone,
I don't feel lonely.
Yeah, you don't feel lonely. Alone but not lonely. If your mind is not seeking for anything, then you don't feel lonely. You only feel lonely when you seek for something. When you're without them, then you feel lonely. Good. It means your mind
so
is
I guess
calm.
I have to.
It means your mind have some certain amount of contentment and calm and peace.
Okay.
But if you're still restless, you're not fully contented. You're still moving around without any reason.
Yeah. I was very restless before.
Yeah. If you still think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, then it means you're still deluded. Because the grass on the other side is just as green as this side. Where you are. You don't have to go look for anything else if you can stay put and be happy where you are. If you're not, it means your mind is not calm enough. Your defilement is still pushing you around. So you have to practice more. Be more mindful. Meditate more to curb your defilement until eventually stop your defilement completely. This is a full-time job, really. Not 7 to 11, I think. All the time except when you go to sleep. Almost 24 hours, 20 hours a day, sleeping for 4 hours a day, and 20 hours practicing.
And as for my friends, I guess the ones who aren't interested, they'll naturally stop coming around, I guess, and that's okay.
They think you're crazy. Just like my friends, they thought I'm crazy, which is all right. I'm happy crazy. And not hurting anybody.
Yeah. That gives me a lot of joy, actually, just reflecting on the precepts, not harming.
Yes. When you're not harming other people, your mind becomes peaceful. When you hurt or harm other people, your mind can become agitated. All right, any question besides what you just mentioned?
No, thank you so much, Thanajan.
Okay, we have some questions now from email and from YouTube and Facebook. Now.
Yes, there are 4 questions from Gmail named Assistant Ajaan Suchart and 2 questions from Facebook. The first question is from Camelon. I'm 36 years old and have been sick for many months. I'm very weak and in a lot of constant pain. I can no longer work. It's just a struggle just to do basic things. There are days that I can't even drink water because my body just rejects it and throws it up. I understand that I may not have much time left. I have been practicing mindfulness and meditation consistently for about 14 years. Right now, I'm using mindfulness to hold a compassionate space for my fears and to investigate them. I'm reciting a refuge prayer and every day, and I'm prostrating many times a day. I understand that I may not have much time left. I'm writing to ask about mindfulness. My question is, what resources, teachings, or insights can you please give me to work with my very painful symptoms and my fear around it? Thank you.
Well, the Buddha taught us all to reflect constantly, contemplate constantly that once we are being born, we are subjected to aging, sickness, and death. This is something that will happen to everybody, to our body. And the way to deal with this aging, sickness, and death is to remain calm. So to be able to remain calm, you need to practice of meditation. Develop a mindfulness meditation. You have to develop mindfulness by using something like a mantra to keep your mind still, not thinking. To be mindful of the present. to stop your mind think about the past or the future or about anything. Just to keep your mind be merely knowing. If you can do this, then you will not be affected or hurt by the aging, sickness, and death of the body. Right now you are hurt, your mind is hurt because you are attached to your body. You haven't yet seen the truth of the body. And this body is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. And the only thing you can do or deal with this is just to remain calm, peaceful. So you have to practice meditation to calm your mind. And there are... Okay, go ahead.
And there are 3 questions from Dr. Jimmy from Indonesia. First questions, what is the preparation before we practice in forest?
Well, you just have to do what when you go to the forest do. See, so when you go to the forest, usually you don't have electricity or running water, so you have to live like going out camping, living quite simple. And also, if you want to go to the forest and practice, then you should stop using your smartphone. Disconnect yourself from the internet so that you can have time to do your meditation and mindfulness practices. So you have to keep the 8 precepts, and also, if you can, eat only once a day, because most monks who live in the forest only eat once a day. Here on the mountain, we eat once a day. And we don't have any electricity or running water. So it will be difficult for you to use any electronic gadgets. You don't want to take anything like that with you. Try to be uncivilized, like the ancient people. They have no electricity, no water, running water, no smartphone. Live like during the time of the Buddha. Live naturally, live with nature. And try to do as much meditation and mindfulness practice as possible before you go to the forest. So that when you get there, then you would know what you have to do. See, if you don't practice when you go there, you might find it difficult for you to practice mindfulness and meditation. And if you don't do this, then you can get bored, and you might not be able to stay there for long. You might ever be able to stay there for just a few hours and you want to go home.
And the second question is from Jimmy. Nowadays, I try to practice anapanasati and can sit for 1 to 1.5 hours and try to use my sati in my daily life as a neurologist. I already practiced this for 2 months, but I think the progress is slow. Do you have any suggestions for me to develop my Dhamma practice?
You just have to do more. Instead of 1 or 2 hours, do 20 hours a day of practice, mindfulness and meditation. Then you'll get more result that way. The more input, the more output you'll get. The less input, the less output you'll get. Is that all?
And the third question from Jimmy. Do you have a retreat program for us?
No, you do it on your own. Like I said, you practice from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep. Either walking meditation or sitting meditation. 20 hours a day. Only sleep for 4 hours a night.
And next question from Lee Tek Hua. Hi, Ajaan. We always like to wish one another a long life. Does it mean it's always better to die at a ripe old age than to die young? Thanks.
It's not good to die at whatever age. So the Buddha teaches us not to born again. Stop rebirth, and we don't have to die. Because dying is not good, whether old age or young age. It's not good to die. Nobody wants to die. So if you don't want to die, don't be born. Don't come back. This is to make it your last life, last birth.
And next question from Sochit Chim. Ajahn, does karma makes mind suffer like snake bites?
Karma, whatever you do, karma usually affect your mind, not your body. But it can also affect your body. But usually the mind is the one that suffers. If you do bad karma, you feel bad. If you do good karma, you feel good.
Last questions from Carlis. Dear Ajahn, is it possible to stay as a yogi for longer period, like 1 month or more, under your guidance to practice meditation there? Thank you.
We usually allow 2 weeks stay, and then you can extend it another 2 weeks and extend, keep on extending. As long as you behave and you don't cause any problem with us, then you can stay as long as you like. But if you become a problem, then we will have to ask you to leave.
This is all,ท่านอาจารย์
Okay. Would anybody else would like to ask any question? Please raise your hand and unmute your microphone. Okay. Anybody? Biao, okay. Biao. And Indra.
Since I have the day off, no other questions, I thought, so pretty much this is an inside job, right? It's nothing, in other words, like an inside job. You cannot depend on anyone else. You can only depend on your own tools. Yeah, so make an island for yourself. But the tools, as you go along, you sharpen your tools, right? You become more skillful at it as time goes. And eventually you throw off those tools. You don't need any more tools once you get off to the island. But
that's right. That's right.
Yeah, but you shouldn't throw it off before you get to the island. You'll drown.
The noble eightfold path is like a craft, a boat, a raft that takes you to the other side, to the other shore.
Yeah.
Once you get to the other shore, you get off the raft.
Get up. Sometimes I think we are. I mean, at least I am in too much of a rush to throw away the boat, but I think I'm going to drown. So I feel like so I just hang on to the raft back again and start paddling faster. You know, it's the way it is. I mean, it's there are small. Sometimes you get small holes in the raft, right? Water will come. You know, you have to stop put your foot there and just keep paddling.
Yeah, it's better than swimming. You know.
Better than at least you have a raft.
Yeah, a raft can take you faster and easier.
Yes. Yeah, I want to show you.
Without the raft, then you'll be swimming in the middle of the ocean, and you don't know which way to go.
Yeah, I want to show my biggest defilement here.
Your garden. Oh, beautiful garden.
Yeah, that's kind of my mind always goes out there, doesn't go in. I look obviously it's impermanent. The flowers doesn't last that long. But enjoying as I can and suffering sometimes because the insects, I don't spray obviously, but the insects eat, but that's their food too. So I think I share some pleasure, they share some pleasure. I think we live in harmony. That's why.
Yeah, just imagine that maybe one day somebody might not like you and come and chop up all your plants.
Yeah, my wife was saying they're going to come. That I was always imagining they're going to come get angry and start with a with a hedge trimmer gone. It can happen. So I have to prepare myself for that too.
Yeah, everything is transient. Everything is transient.
Yes. Everybody has something like that. For me, it's my mother is with me, so there's lots of attachments, and so I try to practice as much as possible, but there are times, because she's 92, she will be 92 this July, so a lot of things happening. So I guess as long as we try our best and get back to meditation and do our best. That's all we can do.
And I just want to, I want to show you my...
Don't forget aging, sickness and death.
Sickness and death.
Happens to everybody.
Yes.
My secret place, my favorite place is behind that tree. There's a seat, my meditation spot. So that's my outdoor meditation. It's nice and peaceful. Sorry, Bande, I just took your time.
No, it's okay. Enjoy your demonstration.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for always being there for us and showing us the way when we fall off.
We try to go outside always for pleasure, and you're showing us to don't waste your time, go inside.
Yes. Thank you so much. It's been amazing, the journey after we met you. So much merit to you.
We've been going after sensual pleasures for many countless of lives. And if we don't stop, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Yes. We work hard. Yes, we do our best.
I'm going to get a chainsaw and cut all my flowers.
just stop watering it. It will die by itself. You don't have to do anything. Just leave it alone. Let it exist by itself. If it can.
It's going to go. The winter is all brown. It's gone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bande.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask any question or say something if you like?
Diana.
Diana?
Hello. I was wondering about our tendency to judge others and always that's our lesson, isn't it? Not to do it, because I wondered if you had anything to say on that.
The Buddha said, judge yourself better than judge other people. Because when you find mistake on yourself, then you can correct it and improve yourself that way. But if you see go ahead.
Often when we see things in other people, it's just a reflection of ourselves, yeah?
Sometimes it depends. It depends, you know. Sometimes we have the same mistakes, sometimes we don't. But yes, it's better to correct ourselves and then try to correct other people. Because if you try to correct other people, first of all, they have to appreciate it. If they don't, then they can get mad at you. And so you get bad result from this. But if you correct yourself, you only get good result. So the Buddha always teaches us to look at ourselves, not be critical of other people. Be critical of ourselves.
And our challenges often show up our defilements, don't they?
That's right. Our defilement doesn't like to criticize ourselves. Our defilement like to criticize other people. Because our finger is straight, see, we cannot point toward ourselves. We can only point it outward to other people.
It's good to think of our challenges as our lessons, do you think?
What do you mean by that?
When we find things difficult, that's because we have lessons to learn.
Yes, no pain, no gain, see?
It's yes. It's been a really interesting session today. Lots of helpful things.
If you have mental challenges, it means you have dukkha or suffering. And so that is something you have to learn to be able to get rid of it, because these challenges or some mental challenges usually come from your own self, from your defilement, your desire or your craving for something that you cannot have. So it becomes a challenge to you. But if you stop your craving or your desire for them, then there will be no challenge. Try to take things as they come. Whatever, good or bad, just take them all. Don't be choosy I only want this and I don't want that. Then it starts to become a challenge.
Don't be choosy. I like that. Yeah, I'll try.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Julia Wooden also raise your hand. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, inspired by this question by Diana, I have been spending some time around monks. I also visited a monastery here in Sweden last week. And so I sometimes, I totally follow the advice that you should focus on yourself, but I just can't help to notice that some of the monks are not following the rules. And then, so I think that the Buddha said that the monks have to take, like, if they are criticized, they have to take it as someone is pointing out a treasure. Or I don't know if was the Buddha who said that actually, but it's like criticism is also to point out a treasure to the monks, for instance. But what my question is then, how do I know whether it's the right situation to kind of to say this to a monk that, like, you were not following, or
I think you misunderstand the Buddha's words. What the Buddha meant is yourself accept criticism. If someone should criticize you, you should be happy, you should be thankful, because they're pointing something that you might not see it yourself. But it's not for us to go criticize other people unless they invite us to do it. If someone says, if you see me do something wrong, please tell me. Then yes, you can give that advice to that person. But if they don't say anything, don't do it, because you can only you get negative feedback.
And even if, like, so let's say that there is this monk who did the mistake, and I'm in contact with the teacher. I still don't say it to the teacher, or I try to avoid, like, reporting about this event to the teacher, or I try to avoid completely the mistake.
It depends on whether you have to or not. If you have to report, then you report. But if you don't have to, then you might have to consider the repercussion of your action. What will happen if you do report?
I see. It's quite complex, yeah.
So if you cannot decide, then it's better not to just remain still. Pretend as if you don't see it, and that's all.
Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you. Yeah. That clarifies a lot.
Okay, because there are probably many things that you don't see that you need to report, right? But you cannot report because you didn't see it. So pretend that what you see is something you didn't see, then you don't have to report.
Thank you.
You don't, okay. But if you find that reporting is necessary to prevent some damage that might happen, then you might have to report. If someone started a fire, for instance, you might have to report. But it's something that might not cause any harm or damage, except to the person who did it. And maybe it's not our business to report. Okay. Good. I'll go to Aparajita.
Ajaan, I just wanted to share something. Every time we have this meeting, my cat seems to like to listen to the Dhamma. So I just wanted to say that it's very sweet. He always comes here and sits. So there he is. Just wanted to share that. Interesting.
Maybe in his past life, he might have listened to Dhammatalk before.
Yes, because he's always interested. Whenever he's sleeping, he quickly comes and he sits by. He's got up now, hearing your voice. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Would anybody? We still have lots of time. I saw just now Sui and Czech came in and they already gone. Not turning on the video or something.
Anura,
Anura, okay.
Yeah, thank you, Ajaan. So I thought we have time, so a lot of teaching today is to contemplate. Thank you, Ajaan. So one thing is, I heard that disconnect to connect with your mind. I think that's a good teaching for us to contemplate. Question, Ajaan. So we have been hearing few deaths recently from older people, but so they are 80, 86. But whenever there's a death, we always hear, we didn't expect the person to die, but we can't go back and tell, what do you mean? So one thing that I notice is when we grow older, we age, we are closer to death, but our mind stays, we are thinking we are still 30s. So how to change this way of thinking that even though we are old, getting older, but our mind, we think we young. So,
well, because the mind and the body are two separate entities.
Yeah.
The mind never gets old, never die.
Yes.
But it's the body that gets old and die. So you have to use wisdom to be able to differentiate between the two things.
Yeah.
That's why the Buddha has to teach us to constantly contemplate on aging, sickness, and death. Because we tend to forget, because we think because the mind doesn't get old, get sick, and die. Yeah. So you have to constantly, every day, to tell yourself, this body is going to get older, you're going to get sick, and then it will die. Just keep doing this every day. So that when things happen to the body, then you don't feel sad because you know ahead of time, this is what's going to happen. You prepare your mind for it. But if you don't think about it, you forget, and you think the body is going to live forever. So you have to constantly, and not just 1 or 2 times a day. Like the Buddha asked his disciple, the Venerable Ananda, how many times to reflect on death? He said 4 or 5 times a day, morning, lunch, dinner time, and evening time, and before I go to bed. The Buddha said, this is not good enough. You have to think of that every breath that you take. When you breathe in, when you don't breathe out, you die. When you breathe out and when you don't breathe in, you die. This is to prevent you from forgetting this truth, this fact. And then if you don't forget, then you don't get excited or sad because you know this is going to happen. People forget death, and when death comes upon them, they don't know how to react. They react with sadness because they still cling to the body that died. So this is what the Buddha teaches Buddhists to do, this contemplation all the time, as much as possible. But the defilement don't want us to think, because when we think, we start the defilement to go after things. If we're going to die, what's the use of getting rich for? Because we're going to lose it all anyway, right?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Evie
just came in.
Yeah, just came in.
From Indonesia.
I just came, Ajaan. Now I am in Ipoh, Malaysia, to traveling. So I just remember, this is Thursday, so I have to join.
Yeah, it's easier than meditating, isn't it? Traveling.
Yeah, I am rarely to meditate now.
When actually sitting is easier than traveling, right? But you still rather travel than sit.
Yeah.
Because when you sit, you don't enjoy. When you travel, you enjoy.
Maybe. Ajahn, I want to ask, I feel like if we understand ourselves, that is mean that we can understand another people. Is that right?
It depends on what you mean understand yourself.
My meaning is when we breathing in, out, we have to pay attention fully. So we feel like, oh, this is the way to understand ourselves because we cannot understand before ourselves what we want. So we just know we stress for what we don't know, so confused, blah, blah, blah. And when we start to understand ourselves, oh, this is I feel like more know people, another people. Is that true? Understanding.
Well, if you understand that everybody has defilement, then that's right. Because you have defilement and everybody else have the same thing, except the Buddha and his noble disciple. So this is all the same. We are all the same in this regard. We all have greed, hate, and delusion. We all have sensual pleasure, craving for being, and craving for not being. That's why we all travel. We all like to travel. We don't like to meditate because this is our defilement. Our defilement doesn't like to sit still. Our defilement wants to move around.
It's just they are not don't like meditate. It's just they are not used to do. Is that right, Ajahn? But if they can meditate until they have the result, I'm sure that they will like to do meditate.
Right, right now they don't like it. That's why they don't do it. If they like it, then they'll do it.
Because they not yet see the result for themselves. Yeah. Okay. Just like that, Ajahn, my opinion today.
Good. How long are you gonna be in Ipoh?
For 3 days, and after in Ipoh, I go to Kuala Lumpur and come back to Medan at 10 July.
Okay. Is this your normal annual trip that you do? Or?
Yeah, because my child is a school holiday, so we take them, our children, to take a trip for their happiness, just for their happiness.
For the sensual pleasure, happiness.
Yeah, sensual pleasure is the part of defilement.
Yeah, you're feeding them with more defilement instead of taking them to meditation retreat. Why don't you take them to meditation retreat?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go to meditation retreat yourself.
What can I do? I just okay lah, follow lah. 1 year, one time only. Okay lah, just follow lah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn.
Okay, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, Ajahn, thank you.
Anybody else? Maybe not. Maybe it's time for us to close this meeting. Okay? Well, thank you very much for your participation. I hope this meeting can give you some benefit and use it to advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุค่ะ
Thank you พระอาจารย์
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.
Thank you everyone. Bye. Bye bye.
Thank you all.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye bye. สวัสดีครับ
Bye.
สวัสดีค่ะ
Uh,